Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm your late night spooky friend Mike, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started guys, please subscribe if you are new here and you haven't already done that. We're on the road to 151,000 subscribers, and I would love you to join me on this journey. So hit subscribe right now and join the fam. But what is going on you guys, and welcome back, and today we are going to be doing another scary story. And the scary story is called The Women with the Cat's Eyes. So the story of the women with the cat's eyes is a scary story about Mexican witches. It is based on an old folk tale from New Mexico. I found it in a collection of old folklore titled Tone the Bell Easy. But enough of the jibber jabber, let's jump right over to the story. The Women with Cat's Eyes. There was a man named Panfilo who built a house in a remote Mexican village. There were two old women who lived near him, and sometimes he would go over to their house to play cards. Their names were Pillar and Fifi. They were tall, thin women with pale, narrow faces and dark circles around their eyes, as if they never slept. The two old women were sisters, and they were never apart. Wherever one of them went, the other one would go too. They looked almost exactly alike, and the only way to tell them apart was by their eyes. Pillar's eyes were green, and Fifi's eyes were brown. The people in the village warned him that they were witches, and told him to be careful, or they would do witchcraft on him. But he just laughed and said he wasn't afraid. He didn't believe in witches. However, as time went by, Panfilo became curious. The two old women never left their house after dark. He watched their house every evening, but as soon as night fell, he never saw them come out. Sometimes he would peer through the windows, but the house was always dark. The only thing he could see were the eyes of their cats glittering in the darkness. The cats would hiss at him and scare him off. One night, he decided to go to their house and find out what the old sisters got up to after dark. When he peered through the window, the cats weren't around. He knocked at the door, but there was no answer. So he cautiously opened the door and went inside. The house was empty, and there was a fire burning in the hearth. He was looking around when he noticed something glistening in front of the fire. When he bent down to see what it was, he recoiled in horror. There were two pairs of human eyes lying there. They looked as if they had been taken out of their sockets and left there to keep warm. There was a big iron spoon standing beside the fireplace that was used to gather up the ashes. He grabbed the spoon and scooped up the eyeballs to take a closer look at them. The two pairs of eyes stared up at him. One pair was green, and the other pair was brown. It was almost as if they were glaring at him. They made him feel sick. Panfilo was frightened, and his hands started trembling. He was shaking so much that the iron spoon tipped over, and he accidentally dumped the eyes into the fire. They popped and sputtered as they hit the coals, and then began to dance. The eyes danced up and down, hissing and popping as they jumped. He tried desperately to scoop them out of the fire, but it was too late. They were so charred and burned that they looked like 4 hard brown walnuts. Just then, the two lean black cats came screeching in the house. They ran around his legs, hissing and scratching him. Panfilo was terrified. He made the sign of the cross and ran out as fast as his legs would carry him. He didn't stop running until he got back to the safety of his own house. The next morning, he was still afraid. He was worried that the two old sisters would find out what he had done. He decided to go over to their house and talk to them as if everything was normal, hoping that they wouldn't suspect him. When he knocked on the door, he heard the sisters say, "Come in, Panfilo." He opened the door and went inside. The two old women were sitting in their chairs in front of the fire, but they had their faces turned away from him. "We're busy, Panfilo," they said. "We can't play cards with you today." Panfilo saw the two lean black cats lying on the floor, and they looked up at him and hissed. He noticed that they didn't have any eyes. Then the two old women looked at him, and to his horror, he saw that they had the round eyes of the cats in their sockets where their own eyes should be. Panfilo backed away and left the house. He never saw the two old sisters after that. They stayed in that house day and night and never came out. Even so, Panfilo made sure he kept his doors and windows locked and never went outside after dark again. And that is the end of that. So hope you guys enjoyed the story. I feel kind of bad for these women because, to be honest, there was nothing there that kind of pointed signs to them being witches at all. Maybe they were just two very ugly old spinster ladies that never married, and they just, they were just hermits. They lived, or what do you call them? Recluses, not hermits, recluses. They just stayed indoors all the time because there's people like that. So maybe they were just like two very unattractive old spinster sisters that never married and just stuck together, and they live in a creepy old house and they got cats with them. So of course, if an old woman has a black cat, like, that's the kind of thing that starts rumors anyway. Like, oh, that's the witch's house. Like, I did that as a kid. If there was an old woman who lived alone and she was kind of creepy. And it's funny, actually, because what I'm going to tell you is actually kind of relatable to what I was going to say. To what happened to me. When I was a kid, there was this old woman who lived alone, never married or anything like that. And she actually had a glass eye. And so that used to freak me out as a kid. And there was, like, legends of her being a witch and stuff like that. So that's what kind of makes me feel bad for these women, is maybe they weren't actually witches. They were probably just two recluses that never left the house. And their eyes, they probably had like an eye condition where these were probably glass eyes that they take out for the night. Maybe they washed them and they were putting them in front of the fire to dry. This guy was so weird. Like, he's just so into what they're doing that he like broke in their house in the middle of the night and then threw their eyes in the fire. I feel like the guy was kind of to blame in this story. You should never go interfering or investigating. I know it's hard sometimes, especially if you want to get to the bottom of a story like this. Maybe he was just curious, but I don't know. Maybe the cats, I don't know what happened to the cat's eyes. I just feel like this could have been rationalized. I don't feel like they were witches. They didn't put a spell on him or do any witchcraft on him. So I just feel like maybe they were just two lonely old ladies who maybe had eye conditions and had these fake eyes that they take out at night. And perhaps they just looked like cat's eyes. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, smash a like on it. Let's see if we can go for 4 billion likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. And my question to all of you for question of the day is, do you believe these women were witches? What do you think happened here? Do you really believe that they took out the cat's eyeballs and wore them in their own eye sockets? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That is question of the day. But that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and remember the most important thing, chase your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoy my videos and you would like to support me and my channel more, you can go over to my Patreon. Link is in the description. I would really appreciate any help you guys have to offer, and you can become a patron of mine over there. As you can see, we have different tiers and different rewards, so if you guys want to go check it out, I would really appreciate that. Every little helps. Thank you so much. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss any future uploads. And also, guys, go follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat, so go follow me on all of those. And remember, the most important thing, I love you guys, and chase your dreams.